Camel Trophy dormitory at dawn, where the 14 teams grab a few hours of rest before the rigours of yet another long and tiring day. Time to talk over what lies in store and pore over the map. This time there's no ferry, so the Camel Trophy trekkers have no alternative but to find their own. The oil drums and timber that make up the QE2 of the Camel Trophy. The raft had to be brought from 5 miles upstream, so to get it to the crossing point, 30 natives were pressed into service to paddle it downstream. No vehicles had crossed the river here in 30 years. There's only room for a single car at a time.
Okay, come on. Straight.
The intrepid British are the first to try out the home-built ferry. Each crossing would take an hour and a half.
Wait here. George, come forward a little bit now.
And with 21 cars to get over the water, that's an awful long time.
Nice and steady. Nice and steady. Yeah.
Home built or not, the ferry serves its purpose perfectly. And everyone makes the crossing safe and sound.
Good, gotta go slow.
The Camel Trophy teams truck on towards Ampe on the east coast, venue for the 6th special test of the event. After taking so much trouble to cross rivers safely, the 14 Range Rovers are now stuck deliberately in one. The special task is to get out in the quickest possible time.
Go!
It's a Le Mans start for the test, which is being run in 2 halves with 7 teams each time. There are several different approaches to the problem. There's the dig and jack method, the rocket and sea solution, the jack up the back approach.
Got it?
And the plain and simple drive it out and hope for the best. Some go for the sideways shift. But right from the outset, the Americans look in control. They've got the air of men who know just what they're doing. And there's good reason for that. They do. They've practiced this very exercise at home just in case. And their preparation pays off. They're the first past the finish post, while the rockers haven't moved an inch. For some, nothing goes right. The Canary Islanders finally get results. They're second in the heat, but nearly 7 minutes behind the victorious Americans. Excuse me, you seem to have lost that wheel again.
Hey? Yeah, well, the bloody shovels is going down and down.
The British are left in the drink.
Subiendo, va. Sube.
This time, it's the Spaniards who look as if they know what they're about. Using exactly the same method as the Americans, the Spaniards are second, but nearly 4 minutes behind their transatlantic rivals. Belgium's Philippe Coussin and Frank de Dobelier are second in the heat and take third place on the test. Now, this is not the recommended approach. In fact, it's a bit of a drag. The Turkish team run out of time and are placed last, and they're still trying to finish as Dutch teamster Gerrit Dammer takes the opportunity to cool off. With the Americans now back in the lead overall, it's straight on to special task number 7, the final water negotiation test, only 100 yards from the previous stage. The Dutch are the first through and approach it cautiously. But the all-action Italians are going for bust right from the start. The test comprises 2 water crossings with a steep climb out, and Miele and Tota have rightly assumed it'll get more difficult for the later arrivals. The Japanese adopt the same tactics. They'll set second fastest time. But then the trouble starts. The Brazilians are among those who have to winch out. They still manage a respectable time, fastest of the winchers and 6th fastest overall. But for those who follow, the conditions get worse and worse. America finish 8th and see their lead disappear. So for the 3rd time in 6 years, the Italians win the Camel Trophy. The Americans take 2nd place and the Dutch finish in 3rd. Now, the special tests may be over, but there are 4 days of driving to be completed before the finish at the southern tip of the island, Cape Saint-Marie. And the roads ahead are some of the most muddy and meddlesome that the Camel Trophy convoy has yet encountered. There's no let-up in the grueling schedule. Some drivers cope better than others. Hello, Fritz.
Okay, Fritz.
The intrepid German cameraman is obviously better at driving an Arriflex than a Land Rover.
You captured that on film?
It's out with the winch and everyone lends a hand to get the show back on the road.
We're gonna push, push. Okay. Don't keep working. Back here.
Okay.
But Fritz isn't the only one to find the going tough. Expedition judges and trailblazers John Ayres and Graham Fazakerley get themselves a haul to safety. This is the sort of country that epitomises the Camel Trophy. It took a complete day to get the entire 21-car trophy wagon train along this 300-yard stretch of road. Belgium, 11th overall. And Turkey's Kazim Ayer and Metin Kap. They may have finished last overall, but there are no losers in the Camel Trophy. On a vote among the drivers, Spaniards Jamie Puig and Victor Montan were awarded the Team Spirit Prize. And in the true spirit of this most big-hearted event, they gave it away. The true winners, they said, were the people of Madagascar. So they presented their trophy to the Minister of Tourism and Commerce, who accepted it on the nation's behalf. It's best left to the teams themselves to sum up the unique experience that is the Camel Trophy.
What was the best part of the Camel Trophy for you?
I think the best part was getting through those obstacles, which you wouldn't even dare to look at if you were on your own. And that working together, building bridges, going through swamps, lakes, sometimes forests, opening our own roads, that was great.
I think just traveling through the country and meeting all the nice people. And the people in Madagascar are extremely friendly. They loved it when the Camel Circus came to town.
Best part of the trip, and that's what the Camel Trophy is about as far as I'm concerned. It's team spirit, working together and having a good time, plus getting the vehicles safely from, as in this case, from the north and south of the island.
I think the Camel Trophy is an adventure that you can do it only once a time in a life. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It has been a very, very good experience, and I think that we remember this for all the life.
And what are you going to tell your friends when you get back home?
Oh, Camel Trophy is wonderful.